So, remember when I told you guys earlier that the Most High came to me and told me that I was going to have to share my story. And I mentioned that, oh, excuse me, y'all. This chair is gorgeous, okay? Gorgeous. Is it comfortable? Not so much. Okay. So, um, and I said I had told someone all my business, and they went and told everybody. Um, but I'm grateful. Um, Sometimes, and a lot of times, more often than not, people do things to you to hurt you, um, only for it to turn out for your benefit, for your good. So that's not just a fairy tale or a saying. It is really true. Um, there are cosmic laws out here that must be adhered to, and there's been a lot of reckless shit going on for quite some time. Um, but with that being said, I thought that we were not even, well, for the longest had no type of intimate relationship. Like, it was like the best, coolest little friendship. You know what I mean? Like, we could talk about anything. And the coolest part about it, it was no judgment. Um, um, like, one of y'all homies. You know what I'm saying? Like, I trusted him with damn near all my business. Which, do I regret it? No. You're not supposed to regret anything that you do. So I met him. We started kicking it, and then I would say maybe about 4 months in, when we became intimate, everything shifted. Like, his whole attitude shifted, and I should have known then that I was about to be on one of the wildest rides of my life. It's so crazy because I remember I had just done a vision board maybe like a week before I crossed that threshold with him and put it up in my room. Honey, by within the next 7 days, I believe, of being intimate with him, so from the time of me being intimate with him, I think, and putting that up somewhere in between there, it came down that quick. He had attacked me, attacked my self-esteem, attacked everything that I pretty much had told him, right? So I, in turn, tore down my vision board, because basically that's what he just did to me, Essentially, he made me face a lot of dark truths about myself that I don't know if I probably otherwise would have faced. Now, was it in a nasty way? Absolutely. Absolutely. Was it meant for me to get the lesson that I ultimately got from it? Probably not. And that's when it comes to, we have decisions that we make. We always have a choice. So I had a choice to let this person, this entity operating through this person, tear me completely apart or tear myself apart and put myself back together. Again, that is exactly what I did. And that's when I learned that I was an alchemist, that I was a healer, that I was able to essentially heal myself. So at the end of the day, this dark energy that he possessed, and it was always attacking all of my insecurities, you know. And it was a time where I wouldn't fight back because I couldn't fight back. Remember I told you guys I wasn't equipped for that, to fight back in that way. And he's the type that would say nasty stuff, calling me out my name and things like that. And I'm not even used to that, but shit, it got you thinking, is that my name? You know what I mean? And then for you to look up and be like, am I really putting up with this? And it was so much mind and manipulation going on. But then it dawned on me that the pain was familiar. And that's why I stayed. Because through all of that, I believed what he was saying myself. We project exactly how we feel about ourselves out into this universe, and I didn't understand that until I had to go through it. Y'all, this hair now, shit. But so little did I know, I guess I was projecting all of this out, and he could see it, and he was using it to his advantage to attempt to hurt me. Now I'm going to pause there for a moment because I want to go back to my son. Now during all of this, and I'm starting to take accountability for my actions. I did share with my dad about my son's lineage. Now, of course, for me to go left as I did, there must have been some major traumas that occurred in my life. And it did. It left me feeling like I was completely unworthy of anything. But I didn't know that that's what I was projecting. I had taken on every negative thing that was said to me throughout my life, and I was still holding on to it. And I didn't even realize it. My son was one of the greatest things that happened to me because he brought me face to face with me, with myself. And he brought me face to face to the Most High. So I will never forget, I was at my dad's, and I was going through this awakening. It was like I was there, but I wasn't. Almost like in a portal or something. It's a lot going on. But the biggest thing that I remember, it was like I woke up and it was like, it's about love. I had never heard of Isis and Osiris before. I had never heard that story. So once you start to wake up, the Most High will lead you to yourself. You're leading you to yourself. So I was led to Isis and Osiris. And their brother and sister. Now, how taboo is that shit, right? But then it's like, okay, it's something about the bloodline. Something about the bloodline. Something about the bloodline. Okay. The more that, and it got to a point with dude to where it was like I felt like at one point that I had helped him get to this point of where he needed to be, and then as soon as the opportunity was given, I was left stuck out. But I wasn't left stuck out too long. But it, again, the Most High said to me, what you do for somebody is what you're supposed to do for them. So don't ever feel bad about what you do for somebody else, because it's a reason for everything. Nothing happens by chance. Nothing happens by coincidence. Everything happens for a reason. So if you do something for somebody, you were compelled to do it, and you did it because that's what you were supposed to do. Ain't no point in crying over spilled milk. If you being there for them help impact their life in a positive way, in a way that elevates them, great, and they might not be show gratitude to you in the way in which they should, but just don't feel bitter. Don't get caught up in feeling bitter about what you've done for somebody else and feel like you've been left stuck out, because that's some technology ass energy right there. So I had went through that, and once I changed my perspective, things changed for me immediately. Once I stopped being a victim, everything changed for me. Once I took responsibility for my life, and I said, you know what, I'm not responsible for my pain, but I am responsible for my healing. Because as long as I kept going back and forth with AB about paternity, a lot of times, guys, again, we take on shit that don't even belong to us. I don't know what issue that he had with me, if that was the issue, but I can no longer make it my issue. That's all I knew, because I knew that something else was calling me. Even when I stayed with my sisters for my senior year, and I was talking about, throw people out to the wolves, I would remember they would be like, if I had your shape, I'd be out here doing this and this and this and that. And essentially, you telling me to go, don't lay down with nobody unless I'm going to get money from them. First of all, I don't want to lay down with somebody if I don't feel anything for them. But this was the game, I guess. And one thing about me, I've never been able to go against my heart. I've always listened to my heart. Again, when I was faced with the situation with my son, I listened to my heart. I followed my heart. And the Most High is always speaking to us. Most times we're just not even paying attention, because it's not what we want to hear. So I told one of my friends' mom about it, not the whole thing, but I told her about it, and what she said to me was exactly what I needed to hear at that moment. And she said, do not conform to the ways of the world. What the kids say less. Okay. But it was never a question for me. How could an innocent, how could I allow, and I don't care what they say about it's a fetus and all of that, whatever. If I just could not allow an innocent child pay for some of my actions, like I just that couldn't sit well with me. And then I thought about women that actually wanted to have children that couldn't have children, or women that have had these procedures done and they later on try to go to have kids and they can't have kids. Like, that's how my mind works, you know. But at the end of the day, I couldn't go against my essence. So I've always followed my heart. So, for instance, once the alleged child's father that went and had the DEA test done, and it turned out not to be his son, he asked me, so whose son is he? Like, you know, what's up? Basically wants to know the truth. And so I shared this with the elders of my dad's family. And everybody said, well, shit, he's saying he ain't his. Don't worry about it. You don't owe him nothing. You don't owe him nothing. But for me, I feel like that I did owe him something. I feel like that's the least I did owe him, because he was, you know, there for me. I felt like I did owe him the truth. So I did tell him the truth. So I followed my heart. I did, for me, doing the right thing. I felt like he deserved to know that much, you know. Especially how things had transpired, you know. Also, what I did ask, I said, well, I'm going to give you this information, and I hope that, you know, you keep it to yourself. But if you don't, you know, I understand, which I did. You know, I knew he was going to tell her, but I couldn't worry about that, you know. This is the truth, you know. And of course I got a nasty little message after that, and you know, hey, it's fine, because I even had to go through my mental acceptance of it when I even, you know, found out. That was short lived. But yeah. So that is really, really when my awakening began. It's after I had my son. I believe it was activated then. Well, probably been activated. But after I had him, and then between that and meeting this dude, I went through the dark night of the soul. I had to do some serious shadow work. So I am a, traditionally speaking, fire sign, but I am Ophiuchus, which is a bridge between Scorpio and Sagittarius, and it is also the 13th constellation that was hidden away until now. And Ophiuchus is not ruled by any other planet. However, myself being the fire sign, the karmic is a fire sign, Aries, and my son is a fire sign. It's a Leo. So the story of Osiris and Isis and Osiris started to unravel. And I had mentioned to my divine counterpart. We'll get to that later. But I said to him, "Well, what if Isis was not trying to save Osiris's body, but she was trying to save his soul, right?" This is me going over this story time and time and time and time again. But the first time I saw a video on it, and I can't find it anywhere. Oh gosh, what is your name? RGB, something like that. But I cannot find it. But I have never seen a more profound video, an informative video of Osiris and Osiris ever since then. But he basically broke it down to where Osiris's body was never found, and that Isis and Osiris sailed away on a celestial boat to the moon. And then we talk about Osiris becoming the god of the underworld. But is the underworld? So then I started looking at Orion's belt. Orion, Sirius. Energy does not die, it only transforms. So the more I delve into Isis, the more I delve into myself. And the more I delve into myself, the more I remembered. So as I am embracing this ancient being that I resonate with, I never gave the homeboy I never gave him back the same energy that he projected onto me. The same nastiness, none of that. I never gave it back to him. I just transmuted the energy. So I wouldn't even say that it was a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship. I feel like it was a karmic relationship that you're meant to learn lessons from, even up until this point here in my life. So I don't want to spend too much time on that, other than I will give gratitude in the dark energy that was projected in order for me to transmute the energy that I needed to in order for me to heal. um, and escape that particular illusion. Okay, so we're going to move forward to oh, and just to go back a little bit, and he will also tell me stuff like you don't love yourself. How you expect somebody to love you and you don't love yourself and da 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 da. And again, he wasn't lying. In that moment, but be ready for when the divine feminine learns how to love herself. And the shit that you say don't bother her no more. And you're not getting the same reaction. She's not crying in a corner. She's operating in her divine feminine power. Be careful. So guys, give me about a 3-minute intermission because I feel like I need to fix some things, this lighting here, and I'll be right back.